Yeah, whoa, you're like a dream come true.
Welcome to the first of what I hope will be many episodes of The Fresh Elephant. You're in for quite a treat. So January was a rough month. I don't mean for our country. I mean, sure, we had to pretend to care whether Beyonce did or did not lip sync the national anthem. And it's always a bummer when nobody cares about either Super Bowl team. And Barbara Walters got the chicken pox. What? But as difficult as all of that stuff was, that's not quite what I'm talking about when I say that January was a rough month. January was a rough month for people like me. I mean grammar Nazis, law school dropouts, giants. I mean political junkies. Because during an election year, once primary season starts, it's like we're snorting the world's longest line of cocaine all the way through November. And the high carries us all the way through December because we're either partying or complaining or demanding a recount. There's also Christmas. Everyone loves Christmas.
I hate Christmas.
But then January gets here, and all the political drugs have worked their way out of my system. And I find myself waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, desperately groping around for the remote to turn on a television news network that gives me a hit of nothing stronger than a stale gun control debate and another meaningless vote on the debt ceiling. January is withdrawal. But today is February, and we made it. I am found relatable by approximately 6 people in the human race right now. And now that I've detoxed, cleared my head, come to terms with the idea of another 4 years under the current administration, I haven't come to terms with that. I can now calmly and with a bit more self-control begin to wade back into the political milieu. But let's start out with something light, like the Constitution.
And they put those principles down on paper and called it the Constitution. And it's been helping us run our country ever since then.
The Constitution is pretty much my favorite thing. I talk about it all the time. Probably too much, and sometimes obsessively, and sometimes when I'm inebriated. My college roommates can vouch for that. And because I love the Constitution so much, and because I do whatever I can to uphold its principles, even though I have yet to take any oath of office requiring me to do so, it irks me a little bit when certain elected officials blow their noses on it. Can you guess who I'm gonna talk about?
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
Whoa, somebody put a racist joke in this video. Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2. The President shall nominate, and by and with the advice and consent of the Senate shall appoint judges, ministers, ambassadors, blah blah, etc. I may have paraphrased some of that. But here's what happened. Once upon a time, during the holiday season of 2011, when most of our nation's senators were back at home with their families, President Barack Obama appointed a few somewhat questionable people to a few rather important positions. He called them recess appointments, and those are totally allowed. The Pres can do that. Article 2, Section 2, Clause 3. The President shall have power to fill up all vacancies that may happen during the recess of the Senate by granting commissions which shall expire at the end of their next session. So in layman's terms, the thing about a recess appointment is that you can only appoint them during a recess. It's weird. They should have named it more clearly. So back in 2011, even though they weren't really doing anything, the Senate was not officially at recess. They would send a guy to the Capitol every couple days to bang a gavel for good measure. Yes, it's a silly, somewhat obstructionist practice, but both parties do it. The Democrats did it to W, and he didn't like it either, but he dealt with it because he understood that his office, though powerful, was not imperial. He respected the Constitution. He may have misread some of the stuff on war powers. Apparently following the rules is hard. So I propose the implementation of a simpler, clearer method to communicate to the president the beginning and end of recess. I have heard that a whistle has proven effective in trial studies with elementary school students over the last few decades. Maybe Harry Reid could position a tetherball pole outside of the Senate building. So it's just like, recess. Feel free to make some appointments. I'm gonna go play Foursquare. I wrote a letter about it. Nobody's gotten back to me. So last week, a panel of 3 federal circuit court judges told Barack, hey, you can't do that, mister. So now, 13 months worth of rules and regulations that have been churned out by these invalid appointments are now in question. And what's weird is that the president doesn't seem as apologetic as he does... kind of like that. He's been like, hey judges, stay out my business. I'm gonna executive order you out of work. Because that's the Obama MO. That's modus operandi. It's Latin for method of operation, or the typical way in which one does things. Even if you hate me, you learned something today. If you oppose Barack Obama, he will just find a way to go around you and do what he wants to anyway, regardless of constitutional boundaries. Let's review all the ways in which Barack Obama has violated the United States Constitution.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Let's review 3 of the ways in which Barack Obama has violated the United States Constitution. He skips right over the religious freedoms protected in the First Amendment and basically tells Hobby Lobby and everybody else to suck on a big fat pair of morning after pills. He tells the Department of Homeland Security to just ignore whatever laws are already on the books and stop deporting illegal immigrants until he gets his way on the DREAM Act, even if that's never. He changes his mind about same-sex marriage mid-term, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, Department of Justice, stop enforcing the Defense of Marriage Act. What separation of powers? I've never heard of it. I need to work on my Obama voice, but I'm too upset. It does not matter if you agree with the end result of Obama's policies or not. He is pursuing his agenda in a way that is in direct opposition to the way this country was designed to run. And when you allow a president to just pick and choose whichever laws he feels like following, that's actually called a king. And I'm pretty sure that's what our Mayflower buddies sailed away from in the first place. On January 21st, Barack Obama solemnly swore under oath for the second time to faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States. And
was he laughing? And he swore that he would, to the best of his abilities, protect and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Liar! Liar!
Somebody had to say it. So I'm hoping that we, neither as Republicans nor as Democrats, but as the American people, I do wish that meant the same thing as just Republicans, could start to come together and hold all of our elected officials to a somewhat higher standard of accountability than we have been lately. Well, that's all we have for episode 1. I'm really proud of you for making it all the way to the end. As a reward, I would like to give you an exclusive invitation to participate in the Fresh Elephant's first ever caption contest. Maybe it'll be lame, but that's how I roll. What sweet nothing is Joe Biden whispering into Hillary's ear in this gem of a photo? Submit your best answer in the comments section, and I will pick the winner to be revealed on the next episode. Speaking of which, here's a preview. So when Hillary was like,
what difference at this point does it make?
I was like,
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.